What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk a little bit about Xbox, primarily their fall schedule and what we heard today from The Verge. We actually got quite a bit, including from Xbox themselves, right, with their showcase this upcoming June, right? It's the Sunday, I think June 9th, right? They're doing a very big show, and the last two shows, I think they've done extremely, extremely well. And then much like they did, I believe, with Starfield last time, they're doing a back-to-back thing with a redacted picture, right? Now, many people, including myself, as soon as I saw the picture, I might not know exactly what it is, but it's got to be Call of Duty, right? Call of Duty is their big thing, at least now, right? And it would make a lot of sense for Call of Duty to not, like, overwhelm, not take up the whole show, but then have, like, an after show, you know what I mean, just for it. So I do think that is how that day is going to go. Again, very exciting, but I want to talk about what we got from The Verge in one of these middle paragraphs here. They talk about the fall, and really it's just stacked one after the other. So they talk about seeing this Shattered Space expansion coming to Starfield. They believe, or they understand, I think is the actual word, that it's targeting September. Then they say, obviously, Call of Duty for late October with Avowed and Microsoft Flight Simulator to come in November, and then Indiana Jones in December. And I think a few months ago, you know, when we were kind of going back and forth on, like, is Sea of Thieves coming on PlayStation, is Hi-Fi Rush, is Halo, is other games, I'm pretty sure it was also The Verge that did the same thing. It maybe was somebody else, but I'm pretty sure it was them that also threw out Indiana Jones. So, I mean, if we just want to kind of park it right there just for a second, I guess I appreciate, or I take interest in, that it's still December, right? Because we heard that a while ago, and things can change, and honestly, things can still change. I don't want to assume Indiana Jones comes out this year, okay? Like, because I think coming out in December gives you, honestly, a 50-50 shot of actually coming out in December or pushing it to January, February. So, honest, and I think I've said this kind of before, like, that would almost be a bonus. You know what I mean? Like, you got the fall, and if you got Silent Hill, and then, you know, obviously the Xbox exclusives like we talked about, but whatever we get from the fall. And then if you tack on Indiana Jones, like, to me, that's kind of just like a bonus thing where I'm not fully expecting it. But honestly, yeah, I look at that and I say, that's pretty big. Now, you know, you can argue about quality, and we can get into, you know, I'm sure maybe even some people in the comments here will go PlayStation versus Xbox. Honestly, you know, as we've talked about, like, I'm into games. I'm excited. Starfield just didn't really do it for me, so I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, oh yeah, I'm stoked. I'm psyched out of my mind, right, for Shattered Space. And I will definitely not lie to you when it comes to Call of Duty. I couldn't care less. Now, here's the thing. If it's on Game Pass, that does open it up to me, and I would have slightly more interest, but, you know, I can't, again, lie and say, oh yeah, I'm so excited for Call of Duty. Avowed is a big one, though. I've talked about Avowed before going into this year. I've talked about when they first announced it. Avowed is one I'm circling in my calendar, and to be honest with you, it might have, I mean, I don't think it's going to have all of November to itself, but it might be the big game of November, or at least one of them. Maybe like Assassin's Creed comes out in November or whatever. And then, like I said, if Indy, you know, sneaks in, comes out the first 10, 12 days of December, that'd be pretty darn cool. So, you know, I think things are looking good. To be honest with you, again, it's not to make it a console war-y type thing, but I'm excited for their June showcase. I think they got a lot to prove, and they got a lot of upcoming, like, close games they got to show, and they also have to start, I mean, you got to knock out some of these State of Decay type games that you showed years ago that still haven't had an update, right? You got to get closer to Fable, but, you know, what they can do with Gears of War, I guess that's something else to maybe throw in this video, right? So there's been a lot of talk of Gears of War. I think we talked about the rumor of Gears 6 being shown at the event, which seems more and more likely. And I also think today it was talked about on Twitter that might not be the only Gears of War thing that they show, which really I would say circles back to the rumor of the Marcus Phoenix collection, right? Maybe doing Gears 1 through 3, just like you did the Master Chief collection, right? I mean, I would love that, and I think that makes a lot of sense to do Gear 6 and also some sort of Gears collection. So I think June is going to be really big for Xbox, and, you know, you got to have the games, and you got to hit with the games, and obviously, you know, they've struggled. I mean, let's not lie, like, they've struggled with consistency, and they've struggled with overall quality, but the fall, I mean, it definitely has big hitters. Like, getting something substantial to Starfield would be a big deal. Obviously, this is their coming out party, you know what I mean, for Call of Duty, so, like, that is a big deal, regardless of what you think about it, regardless of what I think about it. And then you go into Avowed, which I think I've talked about the quality of Avowed. I think Avowed can be a very, very good game. Maybe it doesn't do the numbers Starfield did, but I think it could actually be better than Starfield. And then Indiana Jones, you know, I'm not a fan of the first person, third person. You know, we've talked about that kind kind of debate. Not a fan of the way they went, but I'm giving it a chance. I'm very willing to give it a chance, and I think that can be a very good game. So I'm excited, and that's just one piece of the puzzle. It's why I get excited about games. This is just Xbox. There's other things that we're going to hear about this summer, and there's other games that are going to come out in the fall. So hopefully we're going to be eating good when it comes to gaming in the fall. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.